So the new iPhone 15s, that's the non-Pro versions. Now they've been getting a lot of attention since its release, and quite rightly so, seeing that Apple, for the first time in a while that I can personally remember, have given the non-Pro version of the iPhone 15 in this matter some arguably good upgrades. Now these upgrades, in my opinion, definitely gives the regular iPhone 15s here better value for consumers that makes it feel somewhat as if it has gotten a new lease on life. So my girlfriend, who has been an absolute Android user for basically all her life, she's never used an iPhone ever, not even for a minute. Well, now she has decided she is finally gonna make the switch, and I can promise you, I had absolutely nothing, no part in her making that decision. Heck, if I'm actually being transparent, I've been trying to literally have her switch for years, to the point where I now just totally give up. So the question is, why did she decide to switch now? Well, it's because of this, the new iPhone 15. Now, she's been using the iPhone 15 Plus. That's the model that she decided to go with, and she's been using it for quite some time now. And of course, being the guy that I am, I really had to pick her brain a bit to really find out how her experience has been so far, and to share it with you guys as well, so that, I don't know, probably it could help someone who might be considering the switch or an upgrade for that matter. Also, let me just make it clear, this is not a iPhone versus Android, which one is better kind of situation. That's definitely not the motive here for this video. This is just a raw, unfiltered kind of a Q&A that I had with her. She had no clue, she had no idea of the questions that I was gonna ask her at all. So without giving away too much and spoiling it for you guys, let's actually just get straight to that Q&A part of the video. Welcome to the channel. Again, thank you for taking the time to kind of give us your thoughts, your experience on, of course, with the new iPhone 15 Plus. Now, you've actually been using the device now for quite some time, and we just wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit and for you to share with us what your experience has been, how are you liking it, how are you disliking it, and just kind of giving us some advice for those persons who are considering making the switch as well. So, with that said, let us first of all know what device it is that you are actually coming from prior to your switch to the iPhone.
Well, I was using the S10 Plus. That's what I'm coming from. Still have it here, still use it from time to time.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, sweet. All right, so great. Now that we know what you're actually coming from, just give us a quick overview of your experience with the Galaxy S10 Plus over the 3 to 4 years that you've been using it.
Well, I haven't had any issues. I like the style of it. I love the design. I love the color. That's why I bought it in the first place. And yeah, I'm not a big tech person, so I don't really have any specifics to say, so to speak, but...
So, it's, in general, it's been good?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, now that you have made the switch, we want to know the big question. Why did you decide, or what prompted you to actually make the switch from something like the Galaxy S10 Plus, or let's say an Android, to the iPhone?
Well, it was time to upgrade. I mean, I've had my other phone. I've had this Samsung phone for about 4 years. So it was time, and I've been wanting to upgrade, to be honest, but I haven't been feeling the Samsung designs, and I saw this phone, which was pink. So the fact that the color is pink, that definitely, you know, got me excited, because pink is my favorite color, obviously. So that caught my eye initially, and then I don't know. I was very iffy about it, even though I love the color. And I was, excited about it. I was still a little bit iffy and nervous because I was never an iPhone person.
So it's just the color that prompted you to make the switch?
No, not just the
And
color,
the
but
design?
the color, the design, and also the things that I've learned, of course, through your videos and getting into the whole dipping my feet in the little iPhone, in the whole iPhone pool, just to see what it's about, because I've never really given it a chance. I don't know, I've just always been against iPhones. I don't really have a proper reason, so to speak, but I mean, I just felt more free and I could do whatever I want with my Samsung phone without as much restrictions. But yeah, I see how cool it is to have an iPhone, how convenient it is, especially when you have other Apple devices and everything. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, another question. Did you happen to have any concerns or any apprehensions about making the switch to the new Apple system?
Not really. It was just mostly excitement and I guess a little anxious just to see, because this is new for me and I just wanted to see what it would be like.
What would you say were your initial impressions of the iPhone 15 Plus so far?
Good, good, and good. Great. Amazing.
Wow.
And I love the phone. Yeah.
Would you say that you're still in a honeymoon phase with it?
Well, yeah, because it's just been 2 weeks, if we're being realistic. But I feel like long term, yeah, I'd still love it.
Okay. How has your overall experience with the iPhone 15 Plus been so far, though?
Great.
It's been great.
Yes. I don't have any reservations, really. The only little things I'm seeing really is just like certain apps and stuff that I would have had or could have gotten on the Play Store with my Samsung. I can't get on this phone, but it's not anything pressing. It's just personal favorites that I liked. It's not anything that I really needed in my everyday life. But yeah, the quality of the phone is just good. It's great, and getting all the other Apple products as well to see how seamlessly they work together. And I just feel like I'm a part of this new day and age.
Wow.
Because my phone is like back when. So, I mean, I somewhat get the hype of why people love iPhones. And I'm still learning, and there's a lot to learn about it. I'm still in that phase where I'm learning, like I said, how to use it, and I want to get the best out of it, of course. So, yeah.
How far deep into the ecosystem are you now with Apple?
Pretty deep. I am a person. I had the earbuds for my Samsung. I have my Samsung earbuds. I have my Samsung phone, and I had my Samsung watch. And I'm like, if I'm going to switch, I just have to, I need everything at the same time. I just want to do everything. I just want to just get it done. So I got the watch, which is the Series 9.
Okay.
And I also got the AirPods Pro 2 with the USB-C. Yeah. So this is me.
Oh, sweet.
And having everything is it's just so seamless, and it takes little to no time to just have everything connected and just works pretty well. For the most part, it's, so to speak, for now, like so far, I haven't had any issues. It has amazed me how well everything just works like it's one. You have multiple devices from the laptop to the watch to the earbuds to the phone, and everything is just like one.
I get you. Yeah.
And it's just easy.
What are some of the features that you find most useful or impressive so far about the iPhone 15 Plus?
Well, I like that it's the MagSafe. I like the MagSafe feature about the phone. I mean, you can have MagSafe on a Samsung too, I get to understand if you want. But the phone itself, yeah. The Face ID, Jesus. I just be looking down and it just already like scans my face quickly. I'm loving FaceTime and iMessage. It's just such a smartphone. It feels so like, I don't want to say rich, but rich, premium. You feel like, yeah, you got value for your money, so to speak. I mean, coming from where I'm coming from, guys, yes, that's why I said that. Because we know these phones are a little pricey, but the camera quality is great. But for me, I kind of prefer the camera on my Samsung because of the iPhone getting used to the very realistic look that it gives me. You know, we love with filters and all of these things. Like, so with the Samsung, I've always liked that type of look that it gives me when I'm taking pictures or whatever. The iPhone is just so realistic, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. So, I mean, yeah, it picks up everything. The fact that I can be on a video call in a very loud environment and I can just like mute my environment and the person can just only hear me even though it's like a heap of noise going on in my background. That is cool. The airdrop, oh, the airdrop. Yeah, love that. Yeah, I don't know what else.
What about performance? Have you noticed any significant difference in terms of performance or battery life between your older Android device and the new iPhone 15 Plus?
Yeah. My battery definitely lasts me much longer on my iPhone than on my S10 Plus. When I get the day started, I always start at 100%. And throughout the day, I use my phone, but not as much, especially when I'm at work. I don't really use it as often as I would if I was home. So if I'm supposed to be at work, I'll listen to music here and there, watch a few episodes of my show or whatever on my lunch. I think I'd probably come home with about maybe 80% or so, or 86%. Because I don't really use it as much, but I do use it. So, yeah, sometimes I really don't even need to charge my phone. I could probably go another day with it and don't need to charge it till probably like the ending of the day.
I think you should try that.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
I've done basically, well, since I've gotten this phone, I am now that girl that has in my AirPods sometimes. Because I would have my earbuds in from my Samsung, but I wouldn't wear it as much as my earbuds. So like, I've been listening to music more, I'm on Spotify more, and the battery still lasts me, you know, a little longer throughout the day. Not a little longer, a lot more throughout the day than my Samsung has. Yeah, and another cool feature was, it's cool, but then it's kind of like different for me when I have my AirPods in. If somebody sends me a message, Siri's just like reading out everything. So it's like everything keeps you up to date and she gives you the options, whether you want her to do this or do that. Let her know. She's very smart. She's like a real person.
What about problems? Have you encountered any challenges, any drawbacks since switching to the iPhone 15?
The only challenge I've had, which I knew it was coming a little bit, was my back button, because I relied on it a lot on my Samsung phone, having that back button. But I think I'm adapting pretty quickly to the gestures and like using like the back arrow on the screen versus the back arrow that is on my Samsung phone. Because even when I'm using my Samsung phone, I find myself now using like the back option on the screen versus my back button. So I think I'm adapting to that very quickly, surprisingly, because I thought I would have had the challenge. Every once in a while, I find myself pressing back down at the bottom on my iPhone and there is no back. But yeah, adapting to it has been good. It's surprisingly easier than I thought it would have been, because I really thought I would have had a hard time, because I've been with Samsung this like majority of my life. So yeah, it wasn't as hard.
What are your thoughts on the design and the aesthetics of the iPhone 15 Plus?
Well, I love the round edges. I like that they have made the phone much lighter, because I have compared it to your phone, which I see that it's much lighter. And I love the color around the rim. So yes, I love the color around here, around the sides, and the screen is just full. Like you have full screen action going on. And it's pink, especially here around the camera. So pretty. And it just feels amazing. And you kind of don't want to put it in a case because it feels so good in the hand without a case. But of course, we need protection. USB-C. I can use my Samsung charger in my phone if I want. I just think it was time for me to switch. Like they made, oops, Jesus. I knew I wasn't to every time I take my phone out of the case. Let me put it back. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think it was just they made this phone for me, so to speak, because I've never shown interest in getting any iPhone. My first time watching the Apple event, my first time just taking it in, seeing, because you were watching it and I was here and I'm watching it and I'm seeing all the features and I saw the color and I'm like, yeah, it's a very nice phone.
How has the iPhone 15 Plus impacted your overall mobile phone usage? Do you find yourself using it more often, less often?
I find myself using it more. I want to be on my phone all the time if I'm being realistic. Especially when I'm at home, because I want to, learn all there is to learn about this phone, see what it is capable of, trying different things. I think I've been on my phone a little more because it's a new phone and I have that new phone feeling and wanting to see what it's really capable of, what it can do, and just seeing how my different apps look on this phone, because they do look different. They do perform differently on this phone versus my Samsung phone. I listen to music and I'm on my social medias like my Instagram, watch my YouTube videos, watching my YouTube videos and watching my Netflix shows and stuff. I love doing that on the iPhone. The sound quality is out of this world comparing to my older phone. Like, I'm low-key in a little, what's it called now? A little movie theater, so to speak. Like, if I'm watching something and say I turn my volume up to the maximum, I kind of have to find myself shouting if I want to talk to somebody, if somebody wants to talk to me. That's how loud it is, and clear and crisp. Yeah, and I love that. And I chose the big one because I like bigger phones. And yeah, I just feel like I have a really good phone, a solid phone. Not that this phone wasn't good and solid, but the time has passed for it, so to speak. So I have to just step out there and see. So the whole point was to really try to see if I would really love it, and it wasn't just for the looks. And yeah, everything is tying in well, and I'm happy, I'm comfortable. So
okay. Next question. Would you recommend the iPhone 15 Plus to others?
Yes.
Who are...
And I already have.
Wow. It's been that good.
Yeah. But it's mostly people who have iPhones already, but I guess they have like the 11, or they're just like a little bit behind. I've already, you know, just shared my experiences so far, and I think comparing and watching all the other videos I have and doing my little researches, and of course seeking advice from you and hearing what you have to say in terms of this device comparing to the others, the 11s or whatever it is ideal to upgrade.
Okay.
So.
And what advice would you give someone who is actually considering switching from Android to iPhone?
If you can afford it, try it. That's it. Try it. If you don't like it, just go back. Of course, you keep your other phone, or don't knock it till you try it then, because that was me. I never tried it. I didn't care to try it. And some of my Samsung people are a little upset with me because I was like, no iPhone, and now I'm iPhone. So, and I just give it a try because I was very open-minded with it, and I'm like, if I don't like it, I can just go back to this until maybe a Samsung comes out that I like, or the Google Pixel, because I had my eye on the Google Pixel ideally before this phone came out. That's the one I wanted to switch to, because I just can't get over the Samsung designs, the square edges, I don't know, it was not for me, and that's why initially it took me so long to change my phone, because I wanted something that I loved and I will love for a while, because I keep my phone for at least 3 to 4 years before I think, let me see. So yeah.
Nice. Are there any specific features or improvements that you'd like to see in the future from iPhone models, or any features that you'd like to see implemented in future iPhones?
Well, a small thing.
Okay.
Because what I can do on my Samsung phone, if I have multiple tabs open, I could just close all of them at once. I cannot do that on my iPhone. I have to swipe up each to close them. And I would like the action button. Can bring down the action button to us, you know, at the plus and the regular. And not just for the Pro phones. Well, we have USB-C. What else?
What about ProMotion? Would you, if I gave you my iPhone 13 Pro right now to use, could you tell the difference between using a 60 hertz screen versus a 120 hertz?
Well, based off of the reviews I've seen, I would be able to tell. But if you're just a regular person and you're not into all of these things, these tech stuff, it's really not that huge of a difference. Nobody really pays attention to that unless you're really into the tech thing.
Okay. What is your overall opinion now of the iPhone brand and Apple in general as a company?
Well, I feel like, first of all, I think they could give us more, but they just want to take forever to just give you bits and pieces, and that's what annoys me the most about them, because sometimes things we've had for so long already on these phones, these older phones, they're just now implementing them on their phones. I don't know, I guess it's smart to introduce them little by little, but it's kind of annoying. But then one thing with Apple, I guess, when they do something, they do it very well, extremely well, and it doesn't fail. as far as what I can see so far. I don't know yet, but what I've seen. But I think they have taken time to really make premium phones, and I think it's fair to say you get value for your money if you upgrade smartly.
That's good. Last question that I would like to ask while we wrap this video up. Would you consider switching back
I knew you were gonna ask me that.
to Android in the future? Or do you see yourself sticking with the iPhone going forward?
As of now, 3/24 on November 5th, when we're filming this, I have no desires to go back to Samsung right now. Or Android, so to speak. Let's not just pinpoint Samsung. I've only used Samsung phones, but Android, not at the moment.
So essentially you're now a converted Apple iPhone.
I mean, I still have my phone here and I'm still using it from time to time. But if I had to give one up now, I'd say you can take this one, is what I will say.
Okay, great, brilliant. You've been awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us and sharing your experience, your honest, raw experience so far with the iPhone 15 Plus.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything else you'd like to share? Any other opinions? Anything you want to leave behind with us before you go?
All I can say is if you can afford to try it, just try it before you say no. It's just really what I have to say on that.
Yeah, so there you have it. I think it was quite an informative, raw conversation that I had with her. So big shout outs to her for sure for taking the time to be on the channel, sharing her honest experiences, her thoughts and opinions on the new iPhone 15. I really, really do appreciate it. And if you did also find it useful and informative, definitely let me know by leaving a like on the video. That will certainly help with getting this video out to more people. Also, if you're new to the channel and this is the first time seeing one of my content and you want to see more like this, then definitely consider smashing that subscribe button down below to be a part of this awesome community. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Thanks a lot again for stopping by and for supporting, and I'll definitely see you guys again for sure in my next upload. Peace.